Okay, so good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about some lab programs related to Ubuntu, and followed with that we will see some of the programs. What have we have already discussed earlier that we can execute in Ubuntu. That also we are going to cover in this particular topic. Okay, so we'll execute and we'll see how we can do it in this particular scenario. So I'll be doing practically and I'll show you here. In the same way you can do it when you have installed your virtualware as well as this Ubuntu operating system. So basically the first thing what you people have to do here is just go to this particular window. This is what we call it as dash home. Something like this is a dashboard, you can consider it. So when you click on that, you'll get some options which we have already used. So I have actually yesterday created two different programs in Shell script, that is Hello World and Calculator. That we will discuss this later, but initially we will discuss here something relevant to the commands related to this particular Ubuntu, and then we will go to the programmatic part. Okay, so the first thing what you have to use here is something we call it as terminal. If it is not available, you can simply type here terminal, terminal. So you will be getting an option here. Terminal is something like in Windows we do have command prompt, right? In the same way we have terminals here. Like in Windows we will be having like control, we'll be pressing like Windows R, and then we'll be typing here cmd, and we'll be getting a command prompt where you people can type some commands. Same way here, if you talk about this particular operating system, we have something called as terminal, and within this we people will be typing some information. So by default here, if you look at here, you can see there is some information being displayed here, Ajay at the rate ubuntu. Okay, so this is by default my root directory from where I'm going to access my files. So this is the default directory from where we can get all the information. So the very first thing what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to know what are the files that are present in my particular directory, like whatever the file root directory I'm having here, that is Ajay at Ubuntu, and within this I just wanted to know what are the root, I mean what are the directories I do have, list of directories. So I think you people have an idea about directory. Directory is nothing but it's in general sense what we can say is nothing but it's a folder. Like you people might be having some folder. Like for example, if you have a movies folder, okay, so that movie folder is what comes under here as a directory, because within that you will may be having multiple files, or it may be having multiple folders based upon the categorization, and every folder will have some set of movies. So that movies .mp4 or .avi, whatever the movie is, that will be coming as a file, and in the folder in which you people are storing that particular file will be called as a directory. Okay, and if that directory is present in another folder, then that particular directory will become a parent directory, and this will become a child or subdirectory. That way it has been actually considered. So I just wanted to know what are the list of files or the directories or subdirectories I have in my system. So I can use a command which we call it as ls command, ls. Okay, ls is a short form for list, listing the files and directories which are present in the particular folder or the root directory. We can use that particular command. Let's see, ls, enter. So you people might be seeing onto the screen that there are some list has come up here, where most of them have been represented as something like a blue color. Okay, these have been represented with the blue color, whilst only one is represented as a white color. So what is this variation here in this particular thing? So well, basically, if you talk about here, whatever the blue color files you people are seeing here, this one, desktop, documents, downloads, music, picture, public, all these things are nothing but directories. Indirectly, what I mean to say here is that all the directories will be represented using a blue color. So this is what he's talking about in this particular scenario. And whatever the white color one you're seeing, these are the files. Okay, so this is how the variation is actually shown in Ubuntu. In Windows, you will not be getting any kind of variations, but here in Ubuntu, whenever you're listing the files in a particular directory, it will represent the directories with the blue color and the files with the white color. But before going further into this, Like as I told you that ls is there, we do have many options in this. We have many options with the ls command. But before going into it, I just wanted to show you another command. We call it as man command. Man. So what is the main purpose of this particular man command is? Yeah. So what exactly the work of this particular man command is nothing but this is something like you people can say it is a savior to people. For example, in the lab, suddenly the external is asking some of the commands and you don't know what exactly that command means. And you wanted to know it. Since we cannot open your internet and can see while we are in the exam pattern. So this is a command which will help you to determine the commands. Man is actually the command which is used to display the other information related to the other commands. Like for example, you people are first time actually getting interacted with Ubuntu. Okay. So when you're interacting with it, you don't have what we call, you're not able to identify what exactly this ls command. Simply I'm saying that it is a list command, but you're not getting clarity. Okay, so what exactly? So you people can use this particular command man space whatever the information you want for a particular command, you can type it. I want to know what exactly this ls command is, what are the different options this ls command is having. So I can use this man command, man space ls. So when you click on this, so you can see that there is a lot of information that has been displayed here. You can see here ls, as I told you, list directory content. You can see here, isn't it? And moreover, what he's saying, he is giving that how to use. Synopsis is nothing but it is a syntax, how to use this ls command. So you have ls space option. Now, what kind of option? You can see there are varieties of options that are available here. All this comes under option here. All these are options which we can use for ls command. Followed with that, we have something called as a name of a particular file. So which if I wanted to know the information present in one particular file, so I need to give that particular name here. And the option is nothing but these are the options we have. Let's see what are the options we have. First is small a. Small a means do not ignore entries starting with dot. So he's asking you people to display all the information. Okay, dot means it comes under directories. Okay, some external sources or different kind of files. He's asking you not to ignore any kind of first, display all the different files that are present in that particular file. Same way, capital A is nothing but do not list implied dot and dot dot. So whatever the sorry, whatever the dot dot options and dot means whichever the file is starting with dot and dot dot, please do not display that particular files. Remaining you people list it up. That is what is saying. Next we have something called dash dash author with minus l. Print the author of each file. So since you know whenever we people create a file, we can go to the system settings and within there means that particular file settings, and we can change the name who actually has created it. And you people can see it whenever you placing your mouse pointer onto that particular file, you will get the name of the author. Same way here also, if you want to know which particular author has created that particular file, then you can use this particular command dash dash author, and that is going to provide you the entire information. Okay. Then we have a B command here, B dash dash escape. So print C type escapes for non-graphic. This is something more advanced version. So we are not going in depth in this. Few you people will be using like something like minus A this. We have minus L also. We have a lot of options here. You know, minus C, you can just go through it. Minus G, minus capital G, small f, capital F, D. Okay. Mostly we use L command. My L command we use it. This command is the one we basically use it. ls space minus L uses a long listing format. So whatever the information is there in detail, it is going to provide us the information here. So that is what he's saying exactly in this. And if you talk about here, minus U, capital U, all these are used so you people can just go through it. This is the best part of this particular man command. And once you people are completed reading this particular thing, you can simply type escape, or you can simply type quit. Q. Okay, so you can click on Q, you will again come back to this particular option. So you have seen a list of us. Okay, right? You have seen what are the different options we have. Let's use one of the option and see what is the output we are going to get here. So I'm using L command here. ls space L. ls space L. Have you seen this? You can see here ls space minus l when I am typing it, there is a lot of difference. If you see here, simple ls command, it is only displaying whatever the directories and the files we do have here. But when I'm giving a specific option, ls minus l, what does that mean? I told you a long listing format. So here the long listing format is nothing but it will provide you the information related to all the details of that particular directories and files. So if you look at here in this particular thing, first we have desktop, same whatever is present here that only displayed here, but in detail. If you see here, there is a desktop here. Okay, let me highlight this. So the first thing what we have here is desktop, and in this he is giving you the option here. So first, okay, let me explain this first. We have three options, as I told you previously, that we have authentication information like read, write, execute operations. So the first one, what you are seeing, DDD, is nothing but it specifies what type of file it is. So basically, desktop is the directory that is represented with D. This D is responsible for that. Document is the directory responsible D. And download is also a directory, right? It is represented like this. And examples dot desktop. So this is not a directory here. So you can see here that there is a slash hyphen here that represent that it is not a directory. And whatever the remaining files you can see all are directories, so it is represented with D. Now every file, as I told you, it will have some access rights. So there are basically three different type of rights we do have, that is read, write, and execute. So that has been provided. And as I told you that there are three different kind of groups we do have here. One is the owner, one is universal, another one is the one with whom we are sharing it. There are three groups here. One is the owner who created that particular folder. I am the one who has created it, so I am the owner of that particular folder. Like you people within your system might be creating a folder called movie. So who is the owner for that particular folder? You, obviously you are the one, because in your laptop you have created it. So you are the owner of that particular folder. So you will be having three permissions here: read, write, execute. The first three what you people can see here is that nothing but that. So it is in reverse order what I'm saying: read, execute, write. So W represents write, X represents execution, R represents reading. So the owner can perform all the three operations. The one who has created it, he can perform all the three operations. So that's the reason you can see in every folder, everywhere, you can see that directories whatever are there, you can see these options here. See, yeah, read, write. So first D, okay, forget about this. What we call dr is nothing but directory, he means to say. So rw, rxw, rxw, rxw. So these three things are what we call it as read, write, and I mean read, execute, and write option. And this is common for all the owners. And after that, the second in between what you're seeing is the one which you're providing to specific. For example, I am one of the member of your particular group. Now you have shared something. Okay, you have shared some file with me. So you have the full permissions. You are the owner. You can perform reading, execution, and writing of that particular directory. But since you are giving to me to use it, you don't want me to perform some actions. Like you might be giving that particular file to me only for reading purpose. Means I am eligible only for reading. I should not modify the data within that. I should not be able to execute on that particular file. In that case, you will be disabling some of the permissions. So that is what here. If you see here desktop, whenever I'm sharing with anyone, suppose I'm sharing this desktop folder with you people, I will give you read option and execute option, but I will not give you the write option here. Okay, this is something like I have written a program. Since I have written, I'll show you the program. That program I am going to share it with you people. Now I will give you the permission to go through that particular program and execute it, but I will not give you the permission to modify, because I know that if you try to modify it and if you have no knowledge on that particular program, definitely that program will be malfunctioning. It may not be able to execute properly because of some mistake what you might have done it. So what I will do, I'll give you only two permissions here. One is something called as read permission, another is something execute. So you are eligible only for reading that particular file and executing it, but not eligible for modifying that particular file. So that comes under in this particular thing. And the next three what we have here in this particular key scenario, so here these three is nothing but for universal. Suppose I'm sharing it with multiple people. not only with you or not only with a single person like the CRs. I'm not only sharing this with the CR, but also I'm sharing within your group. So whenever I'm sharing with the group means the same file can be accessed by 58 students. So definitely there also I should provide some permissions. So they are eligible for some kind of permission. So that is what actually represented in this particular scenario. And here if you talk about 232 means nothing but within the desktop how many internal files we do have, that is what actually represented here. So there are two files are present in the desktop. In documents we have three files, downloads we have two files. Okay, if I wanted to see that when documents how many are there, you can simply type cd command. I think you people have heard about just cd command. Cd is nothing but change directory. I wanted to move to one of the location, so I want to enter into a file called documents, this one. So I can simply write cd space documents. Remember, it is case sensitive. So whatever the capital letters are there, you have to mention it properly or else it will not enter into it. Yeah, you can see here now it has been changed. If you see the previous one here, this one, first one, Ubuntu, there is a negation symbol. After negation, now since I have entered into the documents, a dot document has been come up. Now I wanted to see the list of files in this. What is the command we need to use here is ls, enter. OS program. So within this we have OS program. So this is another, you can see that this is another directory. I have created another directory within OS programs. And when you click on that, see, within this, you might be thinking that, sir, you're saying that in documents there are three things, but actually it is representing only one thing. Why it is representing only one thing here is nothing but within this particular directory, I have two programs written. So two and this particular folder. So total how many? Three things are present in this particular documents. So that is what it is actually representing here. So if you want to say simple, same, you have to enter into the OS underscore program file. How we can go? CD space. So capital OS underscore programs, PROGRAMS. So I have entered in that simple ls command. Have you seen this? Have you people seen this? This time the colors are different. If you can see this particular color, the color is represented using green. Since I told you that whenever you people are representing files, that files will be represented using a green color. Okay, so all those what you people are seeing here is nothing but these are the files. So I have created actually two programs. You can see that there are four. No, these are not four programs. Actually, there are two programs. Wherever you're seeing an extension called .sh comes under your program. These are the program hello world.sh. Sh is nothing but it's a shell script programming. In short, like you people write a C program. So how you're storing that hello world program? Hello world.c. So here, since it is a shell script program, we have storing with hello world.sh. Now, do you people know that whenever if you take a C program, after writing a C program, you're compiling that particular program. You know that it will create a .obj file? Anyone? Have you ever seen it? Yeah, if people can reply for this. If no, then I will show you. Have you people ever seen it? Yeah.
No, sir.
No. Okay, just let me show you up then. Okay, I'll just minimize this because in C program is not in this. Okay, so I will show you a C program here, which we have already executed in the previous lab session. And for that, you will be having a .obj file created. And when that will be created is when you people compile that particular program. So I have stored it in your, this is education, Vignan. So we are in 2021 academic year, even semester operating system. Okay. Do we have a, yeah, we have a folder. So if you can see here, I just wanted to show you. Mm, okay. So actually, it is not showing here. It is showing as .exe file. Okay, once it is compiling it, it is actually converting that into WebSys. Since we people are using something called as Dev C++ tool to write the programs and all. Once you are compiling it, if the program is correct, it is converting into .exe file here. Okay, .exe file is something like you people click on this, you'll directly get the black screen. screen. Yeah. So here in the black screen, you people can give means it is something. If I wanted you people, I want to send you people the code. I mean how this program works. So I will simply send you this .exe. This is an application file. So when you click on this, you will be able to type the information here and execute it. But unfortunate thing is, if you want to know how this particular code is running, if you want to get the code, you will not be able to get the code. Why? Because I have sent you the application. Code is present in source code, that is .c. So here actually .obj file is created when you are using a text editor. Since I'm using their C++ now, so after execution of this, it is automatically converting into .exe file. So every file you people can execute here directly. So here, actually, if you use a text editor, you will be created a .obj file, and that obj file is nothing but we call it as object file. That object file will have this particular program in zeros and ones. The compiler will be converting that into zeros and ones, and it will be representing it. So this is what he's talking about. So here, same way, when you are compiling this particular code here in this particular scenario, it will convert this into this particular location. If there are no errors in your program, if it is perfectly able to execute it, then it will create this file. So there we have .obj file. Here we are having .sh negation file. So this is the one which is used for execution. So here previously we have seen something like .exe file. Now so here you will be having .sh this particular file. Yeah. So you can see all these particular programs, whatever you're writing and storing it with .c extension, .sh extension, .bash file, BS. That BH is also there, bash file extension. So all those comes under this particular color, green color. And all the directories are represented using blue, and all the files will be represented using a white color. So I hope this particular command is clear. ls. Now if I want to get the list, okay, in the list I have got this normal. This is a general consolidated one. I want in detail. So what is the command we need to use here? ls space minus l. So let me use it. ls space minus l. Yeah, you can see here. So if you can see in this particular thing, there is a lot of variations are there. So when did see it is providing you the other informations also, like how many characters are there, how many words, how many characters are present in that. If you see here, first one, since it is not a directory, okay, this is a file like .c, this is .sh, this is a file. So file will not be represented. You can see there is a hyphen here, means it is not a directory, it is a file. So what are the permissions we have here? I have all the three permissions. Okay, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. Means since I am the owner of this particular file, I'll be having this by default. This particular thing will be there for default. Now, when I am sharing this with you people can also read it, execute it, and write it. You can do all the modifications. Read, write, and execute. You people can do it. But when you talk about group, when I'm sending it in a format of a group to you people, like within your WhatsApp, in the operating system, if you're sending it up, there you people can download it and you people can read it and execute it, but simultaneously you cannot perform any modification to that particular file. But if I am sending this file individually to you, then you can write it up. That is what he means to say in this. And since there are only one file present here, it is represented using one. And what do you mean by Ajay? Ajay here is nothing but this is the root directory and the subdirectory what we do have, that is what represented here. Since only there is one directory, we means the root directory we have, that is my name Ajay. So that is what represented here. So how many characters we do have in this? It is what this is what the information presented. How much memory space or something it is accessing. Then when it is created, well, yesterday I have created it around 12:58. You can see it. Okay, so you can see that I have already compiled that program at 12:57. Later on, I modified it. So that's the reason it has been updated. So it will keep on updating. The number of times you are accessing a file and saving it, that will be updated to the latest information. So yesterday is the at 12:58, I have modified this particular file, and at 12:57, I have executed this particular file. So I got some mistakes here. Means I was trying to modify it. Then at 12:58, I modified it. Same way here, 11:45 hello world, and same way this. So all these two files are created on May 4th, even including the date. This is the best part of your ls minus l. You have other options also. If you want, you can try ls minus a. You can see here. So what do you mean by minus a? I told you if there are any directories with one single dot or double dots, so that is also represented. You can see there is two dot and double dot. These are by default directories which are not visible. These are related to the root directories what we have. So that are represented here in this particular scenario. And what are the other commands we have? So I don't remember right now. So what is the option we can use? Man command, man space ls. Okay, I have used this minus a. So do not ignore entries with dot. Okay. Do not list implied dot and double dot. So capital A. Okay, let's see. So we will see capital A. So I'm just pressing on Q button. Quit. I'm coming out. Less space minus capital A. So what is the difference now? Again, here you can see here is whenever I'm using minus a, it is asking you to ignore the files which are starting with the single dot and double dot. So those have been getting ignored here and you people are getting. So this is the way how you people can use ls command. It's very easy. Ls is nothing but listing a directory. If you don't remember it, simply use man command, man space ls. So what do you mean by ls here is nothing but list directory content here. So we have the syntax is ls space option. That is nothing but minus a minus l, whatever we are using, followed with file name. So if you want to get the information within a file, you can get it. No big deal. So here I'm using the directory, so automatically I'm entering into the directory and trying to get the information. So no, within a file you want to get the information, like within a movies folder, you're having another folder and within that you have stored the movies. So if you want to get the information about that, you can give that particular file. So this is how it exactly works. Okay. So this is all about your ls command. Now here I want to clear the screen. It's becomes too clumsy. Okay, anyhow, we'll keep it up. Let's fill this particular screen. Once it is done, I will give you the option. The option what we can use here is clear, CLEAR. If you enter that, automatically the entire screen will be cleaned. But we will do it later on since it's looking good. So we have to go with some other. So the next password, I mean, the next command what we are going to use is pwd. So I don't know what is pwd. Let's see what is pwd. And pwd. See, so what is saying? Pwd is nothing but print name of current working directory. So which directory you're working in, it is going to print that particular directory name. So it is also having some options, but there are less options. Minus capital L minus P. P is physical. Avoid all symbol links. Use PW for environment, even if it contains symbol links. Okay, this is something which we use. Okay, for timing, we will not be using that. We'll simply use PWD command. So right now I'm working in which directory? Can you easily tell me here? Simply you can see here, I am actually working with os underscore program directory. So what I can write here is pwd. Okay, this is not a shortcut of a password. Pwd is used to represent the current working directory in which you are working. So I think you people have seen this. You can see here. So this is my root directory. If you see here, this particular, see, remember every file will start with the hash. Every directory, root directory will start with the hash, slash followed with that the name. So slash home is my root directory. Within that root directory, I'm having another directory called Ajay, and within that Ajay, I'm having another folder called documents. That is what we call it as a directory. And within that directory, I'm having another subdirectory. We call it as os underscore programs. So right now I'm working with which directory means this is a path. In this path I am actually working on. That is nothing but, see, you can see here documents and os program is actually placed. But before that I'm having this. This is a complete path, or you can also call it as absolute path name. Okay, absolute path name means right from the root directory, whatever the data is there, that all data will be displayed. That is what we call it as this particular thing. I mean, from root directory, whatever it has been displayed, that we call it as an absolute path name. So pwd is used to represent which current directory. Okay, let me come out of it. I want to come out of this particular os underscore program. What is the command we need to use? Obviously cd, change directory, space, double dots. If we do that, you'll come out of the most previous directory, that is os underscore programs. So you can see here. So where right now, if you look at here in this two lines, here we are having os underscore programs where we were actually working. When I typed cd space dot double dots, I have come out of that os underscore program. Right now I am present in ls document. And if you want to get information on this, ls slash l dash L. So documents folder is having ls dash L. So it is displaying you only that total 4 files are there in this. Okay, and here is the information present here. So that is the consolidated information presented here, and here is the home directory what is present in that particular thing. And you can see that there is a D represented here. So it is a directory. And now I wanted to know the password. I mean, I wanted to know the path in which I am working on pwd. When I click on this, you can see there is a difference now. Okay, see here. Uh, when I use a PWD here in this particular case, hold on. Yeah. So when you can see that when I'm typing this PWD here, you can see that I'm having a path name here slash home slash Ajay slash document slash OS underscore program. Since I was working in the directory, I came out of directory. I just wanted to know now where I am working. So you can see there's a difference here slash home slash Ajay slash documents. So right now I am present in this particular directory called as documents. I'm not present in OS underscore program since I have come out of that particular thing. So that is what been represented here. So this is the way we can use this particular what we call the symbol, what we command we have pwd to represent the current working directory. And the next one what we have is cd, that I already told you what is the main purpose of cd here. Change directory. You have multiple options for change directory also. If you want to know that, simply use man command, man space cd. Okay, so if you can see here, there is no manual entry for CD. Okay, we don't have any manual entry for CD. This is by default. He's expecting that we should know the information related to that. So he's showing that there is no manual entry for CD. So CD is nothing for change directory. And next, what we have is mkdir. I think you people know mkdir. That is nothing but make directory. So let's see, do we have an option for that or not? Mkdir. Oh yes, we do have a manual entry for that. So mkdir. So what is mkdir? Here is nothing but make directory here. So in this we have make directory followed with the option and the directory. So whichever directory you're making it, you have options here. What options we have? Set file mode as in ch mode, not rwx. You can see here. These are the options what we can use. Minus m, minus p, minus v, and minus z. Minus m is nothing but mode. In which mode you wanted to set that particular directory, read, write, execute. Okay, so that is what is saying ch mode. Okay, set file mode, not a equal to rwx, not in read write execution mode, in other mode. Ch mode is nothing but which is the one which we use in order to change the permissions. So that is what he's talking about in this. Next we have p. P is nothing but parents, no error if existing, make parent directory as needed. So if there are no errors are present in that, you can make that directory as a parent. This is something like, you people are creating. Okay, let me show you here. I'll create a tree and I'll show you so that you can get a small clarity in this. Okay, this is something like, uh, fine. So I will insert it here, center. So this is your movies folder. Okay. So within this movies folder, you people are going to create multiple folders like something I'm representing as English. Hindi. Mm, Now in English folder, you will be again creating this into in English folder again you're classifying it now. So what you're classifying here is you're classifying with different names like or action romantic. See, so if you see here, this is something like this is a movies folder. This is a main directory. Within the directory, people have created these files, right? So this is a file Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, so on. Now here within the English again you have created multiple folders based upon and you have sorted the particular movies into based upon the categorization. Like we have thriller movies, action movies, romantic movies. So based on this, now you will be storing the files on this. Here also that is what is saying that option and mild. So it will change that. So if for example, if parent in the sense is nothing but whenever you are representing that. Suppose you wanted to make this as a parent. So when you're creating it, so you can simply use mkdir space minus p movies folder. So automatically it will make this movies as a parent directory. Obviously, if you look at here, this is a parent directory. Within this, these are the subdirectories. Indirectly, we can say these are the child directories. And within this child directory, you are having again now for this particular occasion. Just hold on. I'll open. Okay. So I may not be able to use that. I mean the brush here. Okay, fine. So you just understand this. Um Here, this English horror movie, action and romantic. Here, the English will be acting as a parent directory, and these three will be acting as a root. I mean, the child directories, okay, or the subdirectories. But if you talk about from movies point of view, the movies is a parent directory. English is the child directory, and this child directory will be acting as a parent directory for horror, action, and romantic. And in within this, if you are creating the folders, then this will be acting as a parent directory for the inner particular folders, whatever we are creating it. So in order to provide that as a parent directory on, we people can use this particular command. So let's use this in order to create some folders. First, I'll go into that programs folder first. cd space os space. Now, since it has become too clumsy, now you people might be feeling it difficult to see all the information what I'm typing in there. So here the command what we are going to use is clear. CLEAR. The command what we are going to use here is clear, and when you're clicking on this you can see that everything is vanished. Okay, so clear is nothing but it will just vanish. It is not going to clear the file. It will be present here, but it will start from a new location. So you can see that the entire window is empty. The present window will become clear, but whatever the commands you people have typed, that will be present on top. You can scroll your mouse and you can see it. But when you start, we will start with fresh. So since we are in OS program, I want to create a directory mkdir space. What shall we create it? Since we are working with Ubuntu now, so I'm creating a Ubuntu file, ubuntu Ubuntu space underscore programs. I have a habit of writing, the first letter as capital. So we'll be writing like that, Ubuntu underscore programs. Okay, now I wanted to know the list. How many files are there in this? So ls space minus l. So you can see that Ubuntu program is represented with the blue. So this is the directory what has been created. You can see directory here. Okay. So here, what exactly it is presenting in this Ubuntu underscore program. Okay. Shall we go inside it? Okay. We can go mk cd. Okay. Cd space Ubuntu underscore programs. So if you're clicking on this, same ls minus l. So even if you don't remember it, you want to, since you people have previously executed this code, you can use an up arrow key and try to get the commands. See, all the commands what I've executed till now, all will be present here. You can simply use the up arrow command and you can determine it. Okay, so ls minus l command I want to use. So total 0. Since it is a new directory I have created, I did not create any files within this. So what is saying exactly here is that the total amount what we have here is 0. Okay, hope it's very clear. You people are understanding it. So I would just wanted to come out from this cd space dot dot. It's very easy. Now I want to delete that folder. Okay, ubuntu underscore program. I don't want to use it. I want to remove it. So what we can use here is rm command, rmdir. rmdir space the name of the file which we wanted to. Okay, let's see the man command first. Man space rmdir, so that you can get an idea. Every information is present here. If you don't remember any of the options here, simply use man command, type it, you will get the entire details related to it. So rmdir is nothing but remove the. So here also we have the same options what we have for. We don't have any mode here since we are deleting here now, so we don't require any kind of mode here. So simply you are going to write rmdir, and when you are using p here, p/p, this one, so it is like, within, say, remember, using rmdir command, you cannot delete a particular directory until and unless that directory is empty. That directory should not contain any files. Like here, this particular folder ubuntu underscore program, we don't have any files here, so we can delete it very easily using rm command. But in case that ubuntu programs consist of any kind of file like calculator or hello world program, then we cannot use this command to delete that particular directory. First we have to empty that directory, then we can use rmdir command, then it will be deleting it. Okay, but in case, no, sir, I wanted to delete the entire directory. Whatever the files are present in that Ubuntu underscore program, that also I want to delete simultaneously with this. That you can do it using the option called rmdir space minus p and then the name of the files. Then it will do it. No, 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 I don't want that entire list. I simply want a simple code using which I can delete all the information. Then simply you can use rm command. Okay, you can use rm command and you can try to delete the entire things. So let me first delete this rmdir space ubuntu underscore. So this is the one. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. So well, it is successful. So there are no errors here. So let's see what is the output you're getting. ls space minus l. Whether that file is there or not. Yeah, you can see the difference now here. Within a span, you can see that there is ubuntu program is there here. But right now, after using rmdir command, ubuntu underscore programs, when I deleted it, that is not being displayed here. So that is not being shown in this particular scenario. So this is what actually happens in this particular thing. This is the way how we can use rmdir command. So next we have man space rm command. Let's see rm command. Since I told you rm is used for removing files or directories, so within a particular directory, if you have multiple files and you want to delete the entire directory, okay, without deleting internal files one by one, you want to delete the entire directory, then you can use this particular rm command. Okay, and then you can, using that, you can delete it. So since I don't want to delete these files because we require this, so I'm not going to delete it. So this is, you just understand, rm space the name of the directory, like ubuntu programs is in that. Within that I can create another folder and then you can delete the entire folders together using rm command. That is what it means to say in this particular scenario. I hope it's very clear till here. Till now we have discussed about something called as ls command. So we have discussed about something like ls command. Then we actually discussed about pwd command here. Followed with that, we discussed about cd. We discussed about your clear command. Then we discussed about mkdir. Followed with that, we have discussed about rmdir, remove directory. rmdir command. Now the next what we are going to discuss here is something we call it as touch. Then we are going to discuss about catch. Okay, and then we have more. Then we have a file command, and followed with that we have wc command, word count. I want to determine the number of words that are present in a file. I can use that word count. Then we have a sort command. This is also one of the important command we do have. Then we have cut, and then we have grep. Okay, and then we have one more, few more simple ones: head, tail. So these are the commands. Head and tail are actually used for displaying the initial lines of a particular file. So for example, you have written some paragraph. In that paragraph, you wanted to get the first few lines. Okay, on the top, whatever the few lines are there, you want to display. You can use head command. If you want to display the bottom lines, you can use the tail command in this particular scenario. So let's see how it is going to work here. So the next command is touch. Fine. So let's see how it is working. So if you talk about touch command here, touch command is used for creating a file. It is used for creating a file, and you can create any kind of file here. Only thing is you people have to give the name of a particular file with extension. Like if you're creating a C program, you have to give .c. Let us create and see. Touch space. I want to create a hello world in C language. Since in this first program, I am having already hello world.sh, I want to create a C program. Hello world. So .c. Okay. Since it is successfully executed, that means that particular file is been created. I want to know that. ls space minus l. Did you see this? Have you seen this? You people might be knowing it, and you can see the date has been modified. Okay, so this is not a directory. It has the permission read write. Execution permission is not there since it is not executed. So no execution permission neither for the owner, not for the universe, not for the group. Okay, and it is created on May 5th. Okay, and what is the time right now? 10:05. So at 10:04, I have created this particular file, hello world.c. Now within this, if you want to write anything, you people can simply open that particular file using VI editor. We have VI option. Okay, I will show you. Okay, technically also where exactly this file is located. That is better. So in OS program, see, remember the path documents OS program, and within that you have this. So here is a folder here, home folder. You can see here home folder /home/documents/ OS programs, and within this you will be having see here hello world.c. You can see here, and you can double click on this. So it has been created. This is your text editor. Now, if you want, you people can start writing your code here, whatever you want to write. Hash include what is the footage? And you know what the best part of this text editor is? You will be getting different color combinations using which you can identify if the people are making any kind of mistakes or not. Header files are represented basically using pink, and whatever the hashtags you people are using, that will be represented using a violet color symbol. You can see this. Now, when so I just wanted to print the statement. That's it. So I've written it. So hash include stdio.h main. So print hi, welcome to my world. I'm just printing. I'm just saving it now. Control save. Completed. Close it. So I'm just minimizing this. Okay, you can come back here. Yeah. Now this time you again use the same command to determine the properties. ls space minus l. You can see here hashtag has been done because once you have saved that particular file, it will create an alias for that particular file here. You can see here. Earlier we had, if you see the previous one and this one, earlier we had hello world.c only one. But this time you're having something two here, hello world.c and here hello world.c hashtag. You can see that there are 70 lines are there. 70 lines of code is there in this particular thing. And whereas coming to earlier, if you talk about the previous one here in this particular scenario, since I did not write any information here, there are 0 lines I have written it. But whereas coming to here hello-world.c, I have here total 70 lines. You might be bothering here that, sir, we have written only hardly 3 lines of code. Why it is showing it as 70 lines of code? So that remaining lines are coming from your header file. stdio.h header file, we are getting this particular information. So shall I show you that again once again? Okay, now this time I don't want to go to the folder. I want to know what is the program I have written within this particular hello world.c, but I don't want to go to this particular folder where here. I don't want to click on this. Okay, without clicking on this particular screen, on this terminal, I wanted to display the information. So what is the command we can use here is cat command, C-A-T. This command with the file name will display the content present in that particular file. Let me type it. C-A-T, cat space. What is the name we have given? Hello world. Okay, H-E-L-L-O underscore world, W-O-R-L-D dot C. Cat space hello underscore world. Okay, there is a mistake here. Okay, small W is small. I just forgot to give the name as this W. Okay, let me clear it up first, clear the screen, and then I'll show you. So cat space hello world dot C. So you can see here, it is actually displaying the information here itself. You can, sorry. Yeah, you can see here cat space hello world.c. When I type whatever the content is present in that particular file, that is displayed. Hash include stdio.h main print hi hello world. Now you people wanted to compile it. How we can compile it? So in Ubuntu, there we have Control F9 and Alt F9. Based on that, you people can do it. But here we need to use another. We need to use a compiler here. That is CC space hello world.c. Okay, CC space hello world dot C. Okay, so there is a mistake here. What is the mistake I made here is print statement. We have print F, right? In C program. We don't have anything called print. So definitely what I need to do, I wanted to modify that particular thing. Simply you can go to that particular folder, double click on this. So you can write here print F, save it, minimize it, minimize, come back here. Then again, you just type it up and see. Oh, you got the statement. So immediately means there are no errors in this. So this, see, I'm telling you how to execute a C program in Ubuntu. Simply, you will be creating a folder. You will be creating a file name here by going to the respective folder wherever you want to do. I have created a folder called OS underscore program in documents. If you want to see, you can see here. You can go your folders, documents, and within this, I'm having a OS underscore program. And here is the one I'm going to write all the information. Now here you got some icon here. You can see here a.out. Now, whenever you people are writing a C program, that will be executed using this command /a.out. So this is required. So whenever you're compiling one particular C program, you will see a folder like this a.out. And if this folder is created, you can execute that particular program, or else you cannot execute it. So here, when we are compiling the program, how we can compile it? Please go through it. CC space hello world. So this is the way how we have to compile. If you take what we call Dev C++, simply F9 or F11, you click it, automatically it will do it. If you take a text editor, Control F9 or Control F5, you are typing it, your work is done. But here you have to type that particular compiler. So how we can do it? CC space hello world.c. So it will simply compile it. If there are errors, that will be displayed the way it has actually displayed here. Now I want to execute it. The step for execution is dot slash, sorry. So here dot slash, as I told you, a dot out, a dot out. You can see here the statement has been pasted here. Hi, welcome to my world. But again, the next statement is coming exactly before it. So I wanted to get it in the next line. So what we need to do, simply go to that particular text editor, printf hello world /n, save it. So after saving it, now if you use same like dot slash a dot out, you will be getting a previous output. Did you see this? So you're getting dot slash a dot out. You're getting a previous. Why? Because even though I have changed the file, I did not recompile that particular files. Whatever the modifications are done, that is not been done. So what I have to do here is first I have to compile it. So cc space hello world dot c. Then you have to type dot slash a dot ouch. So you can see this time the statement is printed, and the next line and the this whatever the directory is there, that is coming in the next line. So this is the way how you people had to write a C program and get it executed. So all the programs you people can do it in this only. In Ubuntu only you can write all the programs and execute it. Same process. You don't have to work means whatever the FCFS or the FCFS, SJF, all those programs, whatever I have explained it, all those programs you people can write it directly here. But only thing is there will be a change in execution. How we can execute is in this way. CC space hello world.c, we'll be compiling it, CC space file name, then dot slash a dot out if there are no errors. Then your program will be getting executed here itself. So I hope it is very clear with this. So using touch command, we can use different things. That is what I want to show it here. Did we use that touch command here? Okay, we didn't do it, I think. Hello world. Cat command we have used. mkdir ubuntu programs. Okay, fine. We'll use a touch command and we'll create another one. So touch space first program dot c. So it is created. Let's see whether that particular folder, I mean that particular file is created or not. Is it? Yeah, it is created. You can see here. Hello world is here. First program is created. So same way, in this way, you people can create multiple files and of different types. Now this time I want to create a .txt file. I don't want to create a .c file. I want to create a text file. So how we can write first program .txt. Yeah, the program, that file is created. So you can see here first program.c, first program.txt. There is a difference now. Since the extension has been changed, the same file names can be given here. So this is a .c file, this is a .txt file. So this is the way how you people can use a touch command. And I think you people have idea about cat command now, how to use cat. Let me show you cat command again one more time. Cat space. So how we can write cat space hello world.c, enter. So it will display whatever the content present in that particular file. If people can simply display it. Okay. So I hope till here it is clear. Now we have something like, WC word count. Now I wanted to know within this particular hello world.c, how many what we call words are there in that. So simply I will use WC. Okay, let me first type the man command, man space WC. See, you're having a manual here. WC space print new line words and byte counts of each file. So it will simply printing a new lines, words, and this every information it will print it. If you want to know how many new lines are there, you have to use WC space minus L. If you want to know how many characters are there, WC space minus M. Normally, if you use WC, it will provide. So what is the syntax for your WC option file name? Okay, let me close it and show you here. WC space hello world. So it is showing here no such file or directory. Why? Because we did not give any extension here. So we need to give WC space hello world.c. Yeah, you can see here it is giving you 5973 hello world.c. So what is this? So for that we'll be going to man command. You can see here man space WC. See here, it prints first one is new line, how many words are there, and byte count, how many byte count for each file. So what, remember that new lines, words, and byte counts. So here, how many new lines are there in this? 5. Let's see, 1. So here you can count it. We already have the information. So hash include stdio.h first line, main second line, third line is bracket, fourth line is printf statement, and fifth line is closing braces. So you can see there are 5 lines are there. That is what represented 5 lines. 9 is nothing but how many words we have, right? So how many words we do have here? That is what he's representing in this particular thing. So how many we have? 9 words he's talking about here. So, and after this 73 bytes are there. So bytes means it will, after conversion into bytes, bits and bytes, I mean, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. In that way, when it actually converts it, that is displayed that there are 73 bytes are there, 9 words are there. So words how is counting means since we have no, if there is a gap, then it is going to count it up. Like this, all things will come under one word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these two comes under, I mean this one comes under 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Semicolon will come under 9. So this way it is actually representing this particular thing. So here remember WC represents first is line, the number of lines we have, the number of words that are present in a program, and then the bytes that are represented for a particular file name. Okay, I want to know the word count of another program. What is the program we have here? Hello world.sh. Okay, I will take, okay, calculator. We do have a calculator which have a lot of coding present in this. Let's see. So WC's, okay, first let me get the data. And ls space minus l. Okay, I just ls command is quite sufficient. Calculator. So WC space calculator, calculator calculator.sh file, shell scripting file. Okay, you can see that there are 37 lines are there, 129 words, and 851 bytes are present in this particular. Since there are number of lines or more, so it is able to display it. So there are 37 lines. So okay, new lines are there, 129 what we call words are there, and 851 bytes are present in this particular calculator.sh. Now this is the way how you people can use this word count. Okay. Okay, then we'll go ahead with the sort command here, sorting ls space minus l. Okay, let me have this. Why? Because I want to sort it up now. So I want to sort the files present in this particular thing. Okay, I can't sort it out based on this. Let me come out of this cd space dot dot. Now let me see how many files we have. Okay, OS underscore. Now I wanted to sort the programs, whatever the programs are there, that calculator dot calculator a dot out, these files, whatever are there, I want to sort it out in ascending or descending order. So we can use the sort command. Simply what I have to give is sort space OS program. I don't know whether it will work or not. Let's see. Okay, read file OS program is the directory. Okay, so for directory we cannot do it. For only files we can do it. Okay, let's do it for a file then. Cd space, I am entering into the directory. Okay, which one shall we see? First program. Okay, we did not write any data in that first. Okay, let's write some data in first underscore program dot txt. Sorry. First program dot txt. Let me write the names. Okay, first we'll write the Sia's name, Divya, right? Divya, Anila. Oh, can few more names. Oh, Kirtana. Oh, okay. What worm we can write? Bhavya. Hmm. What else we can give names? What names we can give? Oh, yeah, the X we don't have any names, right? Okay, I have written some names here, some few names. Divya, Anila, Kitna, Bhavya, Bhavana, Jyoti, Madhu. Some names I have placed it. I'm minimizing it. Let's see whether we can sort it out or not. So sort space first program. Okay, first let me clear it. Clear it. Sort space first program. What is the name of the file we have given? First program.txt. Okay. .txt. Have you seen this? You people got it in a sorting order. That's the reason I wrote Anila's name in the second place. So first I have written something Divya, then I have written Anila, and then so when I sorted it up, what happened? It has come up in a ascending order. So all the letters with cap A, I mean with letter A has come up onto the top, means it is in a ascending order, A, B, C, D order. So A, B, C, D, Jyoti, Kitna, Madhuri. In this way, you people are getting displayed. Now you want to display the same thing in descending order. Okay, this is ascending order, but I want Madhuri on top, Kirtana second, Jyoti third, Divya fourth. In that way, I want to display. Then what we can use, we use some kind of option here. So what is option here is minus R. See, sort space minus R means reverse order. This. So I can see here. So first on top, I got this time Madhuri, then Kirtina, Jyoti. So what is the command we use? Simply, if you use sort command with the file name, it will display all the names. Okay, in ascending order. But if you are using minus R, it will reverse that particular order, means decreasing order. This is ascending order. This is descending order. Okay, ascending means from small to big. So A will be on top. Descending order means minus R we need to use. It will be from Z to A. That is the way how it is going to display the information. I hope it's very clear. Okay, this is the way how you people can use the sorting command. And this can be done even with numericals also. Since I did not give any numericals, I'm not using that. If you are representing any numericals, then you have to use minus n. If you are using minus n means numbers. Based on numbers, he is asking to sort it up. So then it will be sorting in ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you're using minus n r, means it's a reverse order like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Descending order, it is going to represent it. So remember that. For simply displaying sorting, we can use simple sort. It will arrange the elements in ascending order. If you want to reverse it, you can use minus or option to reverse that particular thing. If you want to display with numbers, then I mean, if the numbers are present and based on that you want to sort it up, then you can use minus n. Okay, ascending order it will display. But if you want to represent in descending order the numbers, minus n r you have to use, and based on that you have to do it. So these are some of the things what we have. Next, I want to tell about head. Okay, head command now. So head will display the first few lines. So let me first see what are the lines I do have. Cat command, cat space. Okay, first let me see here. I'll take the first program and display it. Cat space first program dot txt. So I have the information like Divya, Anila, Kirtina, Bhavya, Bhavna, Jyoti, Madhuri. Now I want to display only few top lines. I want to skip the remaining. So I can use head command, head space. Okay, head space, the name of the file. Head space first program dot txt. Sorry. Okay, so it is displaying all the names since the list is very small. So it is actually displaying it. Actually, the first six statements it will print. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has printed all the 7 because we don't have this. I mean, not much bigger list. For example, if there are 58 students list is present with me, then top 10 or top 7, like as it is displaying, top 10 people only will be displayed when you are using this command called head. And when you will be using tail command with followed with first program.txt, it will display the bottom 10 lines. But since I have only 7 names here, it has displayed all the names. That is the only difference. Okay, so you can use head and tail command also. Head space, the file name, tail space, file name. So these are some of the commands what we have. Okay, so using these commands, you people can execute multiple things, multiple functions, everything you people can execute it, and multiple things you people can do. So these are the way how you people can go from one file to another file, one folder to another folder, and you can perform the operations. Okay, so with this, we actually complete some of the commands related to it. In the next session, I'll explain you the programs related to what we call the shell scripts. Shell scripts programs are not there. For your understanding, I'll just explain it. Shell scripting, two programs I have written. I'll show you how to write a program within that. And after that, we'll execute one program which we have discussed in the previous lab session. And with that, we'll wind it up. Okay. For now, only this is what all about we do have. So we'll stop here. We'll take a break and then we'll again come back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, sir.